So far, my experience at Clemson relates to the story that I've just viewed about Chimamanda's story. I definitely had a single story view coming into Clemson. I thought everybody was going to be really Southern and really, religious, and I definitely had a stereotype in mind. But I was happily surprised when I learned that um, the out of state number was increasing and it's almost 50-50 now. And I'm kind of sad just how she was disappointed in herself when she mentioned that she went to Mexico, and she fell into the trap of feeding into that one single story that was broadcasted or that was being replayed over and over again. So I've definitely learned that as Phil Collins says, there are many sides to one story. So it's a student's responsibility and a citizen's responsibility to make sure that they are well informed themselves and to put in an effort to discover the different stories that complete one story. Um, uh, and before coming to Clemson, I came from a very diverse um, town. We had a bunch of people from China, India. We even had some people from Africa as well, different countries of Africa, of course. And it made me realize when I came here it's a big transition, and it made me appreciate where I come from, and being able to view all the different cultures and the different customs that people go through. I mean, back home, we get off for a lot of Jewish holidays and even Indian holidays as well because they're so predominant in our town. And in order, to meet that quota to go to school, everyone's not at school because there are so many people that culture is so important to them and their religion is important to them. And I think it's pretty neat that our town respects that enough to recognize it. So in a different way from Chimamanda's story, I have been exposed to a lot of culture early on, and I've had the experience to travel outside of the country and see different lights of the world. Um, but without having that experience, I don't think I would be able to sit here and appreciate all that she was saying and be able to relate to it. And I think this dialogue and being able to do this is really important because without dialogue and without communication and without being able to converse with one another about our true feelings or topics of, you know, conflict or topics of that are very controversial or just interesting in general, I think it's pretty neat that we get to voice our own opinions as students because most of the time, we're categorized in our own single story as we're college students. Oh, we don't really have time for anything but ourselves. We're off partying and drinking and just enjoying carefrees when really we have opinions of our own, and we're ready, to be a part of the world, and we want to, do our part and share our story. So I definitely think that this is a useful tool in that respect that we are able to do that. And I am thankful that I get the chance to do this. And I also hope that we continue to do this because it will benefit the incoming students for future years to come. Um, because, like I said, it gives them a chance to really feel a part of the Clemson family and know that their voice is being heard through different media and through different topics of discussion. And again, I just think this is really interesting to do. And another point I want to make about her story is how incredible she is able to reflect on it and criticize herself, but also do it in a light that's entertaining and informative, and let other people know that it's okay to have that single story, but to know that it's not incomplete is the next step. So I hope people here at Clemson, begin to realize too the single story that they may be reading over and over again, and maybe they'll add a few more chapters to that story, and hopefully one day they can write their own story and people can read it. So that's all I have to say. Thanks.